Hey Hrudai, how's it going? This is Vatsa from India.
Yeah, it's going really well here. This is Hrudai from the US.
Yes, today I'm picking slightly a controversial and controversial topic. Any guesses?
History?
History. Why history is not usually controversial, but yes, this one is is part of history. It's part. It's about one person, a very powerful person. Uh, Most of them either hate him or they like him because of their own personal agenda. So how did you guess it is history? Did I give a hint? Yes.
No, I guessed it's history because a lot of wars happen in history, so.
Those are all controversial. Yeah. These this is a topic many people feel uncomfortable talking publicly because religion is also involved. But hey, it's you and me talking. It's okay. We are sharing our personal opinion and experiences, what we learned. This was something that I learned in my school, I guess, probably in middle school or even high school. I was part of Indian education system, so this was one of the very important topic that was discussed. A few of them even quote him as Hitler, like Hitler, like they compare him to Hitler. Okay, so without further ado, the topic of today is Aurangzeb. Who is Aurangzeb? Why it's controversial? Why was he crazy? Why people still like him? Why people hate him? We will talk about all these things. So, in the period of 1600s, so I think we had discussed some time before, not on this video, but somewhere in 1600s is when British East India Company actually entered United States to as a business. It was a business company, right? They wanted to exchange the goods and things like that. But during the same era, there was this guy called Aurangzeb. His father was Shah Jahan, and he had many kids. His elder son was called as Dharashiko. What is his name?
Tarashiku.
Yeah, Shah Jahan has his eldest son called Dharashiko, and typically these rulers. By the way, Mughals, they are all part of an empire called Mughals. Mughals are the people who actually advented from the Persian countries, today's Arabic countries, and they started acquiring India, and that's how the Muslim and Sufi culture got established in India back in those days. So Shah Jahan had his eldest son Darashiko, and typically back in those days, the power was actually transferred from, it was all inherited, right? So it was going to the eldest son. So Darashiko became the rightful king for of that region. Uh, it was mostly in the northern and mid part of India. And by the way, Aurangzeb pretty much tried to uh, cover the entire country back then, although
But
he was less successful.
Tarashiku didn't.
Yeah, I'm going to go there. So coming back, Dharashiko was trying to be the king, and I think he was the fourth brother. Aurangzeb was the fourth younger, or probably the youngest brother. I think it was fourth. I don't remember that, but he fought and killed Dharashiko. So Darashiko was a person who actually, Bhagavad Gita, right? Quran is one of is the most important book for Muslims, whereas Bhagavad Gita is one of the important. There are a lot of books for Hinduism. There's no one hard and fast book for Hinduism, but Bhagavad Gita is treated to be one of the important one. And Dharashiko was this guy who actually converted Bhagavad Gita into Persian so that a lot of these Muslim, Sufi, and Persians can actually read it and understand what it contains. Like there are, like Quran is now published in English, Kannada, in many languages, right? It's basically language should not become the barrier to learn and seek some information or knowledge. And especially when it comes to religion, they wanted to penetrate across the board. So you always create those versions, right? It can be debated and understood. So Darashika was doing that, which means it sounds like he was not against Hinduism. Whereas Aurangzeb actually killed his own elder brother, and you know what? He sent his own father Shah Jahan behind the bars, and he became the emperor. He was a crazy guy. So I will tell you a lot of things which are controversial. For example, when he became the emperor, he stopped all sorts of music and culture. He just banned it. Like, people should not dance, there is no music, there is no live performance, even within his administration or anywhere in where he's kind of ruling that region, right? It was banned. But he is believed to be an excellent veena player. Veena is like a Indian string instrument. He was a great musician, but he banned it. Okay. So now next controversial one. So no, again, it is controversial in some way, but I think he's doing what he was supposed to do. Again, many people believe that he was trying to convert the entire region into a Muslim country. So he wanted the entire Indian population to be Muslim. But interestingly, his administration had the highest number of Hindus, right? So when it was very typical, right? When it's a Muslim ruled country, everybody in his administration, all the ministers were supposed to be Muslim. But in Aurangzeb's era, it was 34% who were Muslims, which is a big deal when it is a Muslim ruled society, right? So
Also, I know there was this Akbar. He also had Birbal as his minister.
right, Akbar is actually considered to be the most considerable Muslim ruler in India. So they still praise Akbar because he had Birbal, who was a great guy as a minister, was a Hindu. So he pretty much treated everybody the same. So there is something called uh, jazia. What is jazia? Again, it's a very interesting thing. I'll go to that topic as well. Akbar had banned jazia, whereas Aurangzeb restarted it. So we'll talk about that. Let's step back, right? So I was talking about banning a lot of things. So you know what? Aurangzeb was a crazy guy. He went and demolished all the great Hindu temples, right? So temples were actually, back in those days, it was not just for spirituality, for education and community service. A lot of administrative discussions used to happen in these temples, and this guy went and demolished a lot of these Hindu temples, a lot of many important temples in Mathura and stuff like that. But he's also less known for kind of donating or re-establishing certain Hindu temples. There's a place called Maharashtra, yeah, not Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Ujjain is one place. He kind of re-established a temple in Assam, Guwahati. He had, I think, Kamakya temple. UP Vrindavan had Krishna's temple. So he's a crazy guy. He demolished a lot of Hindu temples, and he still kind of, you know, uh, donated or re-established certain Hindu temples. So that's one more craziness by him. But one of the important temple, like Kashi Vishwanath temple, which was very important for Hindus, he demolished that. He tried to convert a lot of Kashmiri Hindus or non-Muslims into Muslim culture. So he tried force them, and if they did not cooperate, he chopped their head, beheaded him. So he was very violent and weird. Okay, so that's one more craziness, right? So he banned a lot of Hindu festivals. So Deepavali, he banned it. He did not want people to celebrate Deepavali. He did not want people to celebrate Holi, Makara Sankranti. festival of harvest, right? So a lot of these Hindu festivals were banned, but along with that, he also banned sati system, where uh, the married woman, when she becomes widow, in certain communities, they were supposed to die along with the husband, right? So he banned that also. So that was a good thing, but he banning the entire religion and festivals was a bad thing. So I mean, a lot controversial. And to be honest, even today, right, like people from who, if you talk to Hindus, everybody says he's a crazy guy. He was a bad guy because he tried to convert all the Hindus to Muslims. But if you'd go and talk about Aurangzeb, let's say in Pakistan or from Persians, because they are religion fanatics, they say, hey, Aurangzeb is the best because he tried to do conversion and tried to make everybody Muslim, right? But in reality, I don't know. Nobody knows the reality, but he has done these,
So
contrasting things.
like maybe switch personality.
Right. Even any religion for that matter, right? Irrespective of religion, respecting your own brother and father is important. I mean, this guy went and, killed his own brother. This guy went and, captured and jailed his own father. So,
Even if he had done nothing wrong.
not nothing wrong because so many people say that it's not about he encouraging the Muslim or whatever. His agenda was to be the supreme leader and like a dictator and have a complete control over the ecosystem. So, so what's the worst thing that can happen to a Hindu believer? Make him Muslim, right? So that was one of his way to, ill-treat and humiliate somebody. So if somebody is trying to follow Hindu culture, force them to make a Muslim and show that he is more powerful, right? It's more than a genuine way of conversion. Again, by the way, I personally feel converting somebody into something is actually bad. You cannot force somebody to convert, right? Like you can just talk about it if they want to, if they are interested, they can try it. You cannot just force somebody to do something, right? Especially when it comes to religion, which is very, very close to heart, not just in India or in Muslim or Hinduism, it's across the world. It happens, right? So, so these are the things that our Aurangzeb tried to do it. So again, a lot of craziness, right? There was something called jazia. I told you about Akbar who had stopped it. Jazia is again a crazy thing. So we pay taxes, right? But jazia is tax payment by non-Muslims. So Muslims were not supposed to pay taxes, but non-Muslims were supposed to do it. So Hindus, again, in Hindus, there are again many branches under Hinduism, and there's one branch called Brahmins. So he excluded Brahmins from paying the taxes, but other Brahmins were supposed to pay, non-Brahmins, but Hindus were supposed to pay it. Yeah, yeah. And again, he excluded kids and women paying from jizya, but men were supposed to pay it. Again, he wanted to show his empowerment. He wanted to establish that he's the ruler. He did all these crazy things. There was this warrior from Maharashtra. He's a Hindu warrior. His name was Shivaji. He fought many battles with Shivaji. Finally, he used his power and defeated Shivaji. That's a different story. But again, a lot of these crazy acts. In fact, there's also another religion. When I say Hinduism, I mean non-Muslim. It's not just Hinduism. There's also something called Sikhism. Okay, it's again religion that is still kind of followed even today. So there was this guru. They have gurus who is basically the top-notch guy who can talk about the spirituality and philosophies and steer the entire religion towards the next direction, right? So I forgot his name. He was the ninth guru, and Aurangzeb forced that guru to become Muslim, and of course He said he's not going to do it. His name is Guru Tej Bahadur. Yes, GTB, Guru Tej Bahadur. So Aurangzeb forced Guru Tej Bahadur to become Muslim. Of course, he rejected, so he killed him. Again, there is some controversy there whether Aurangzeb killed or beheaded Guru Tej Bahadur, or Guru Tej Bahadur committed suicide instead of becoming a Muslim. So there is again some kind of controversy. But at the end of the day, he was pestering and creating a nuisance with all these communities, forcing them to become Muslim. Again, like I said, he ruled. He was one of the Mughal ruler, I think, who had the longest tenure as a ruler, about 50 years. 49 years he ruled. He could have converted the entire nation into Muslim. He did not do it. He only did it probably to humiliate them. And that's again historical beliefs. And again, right? He wanted to be a dictator. He wanted to use the entire resources. But then what? He's believed that he's never used the his government's money for his own pleasure. You know what? He used to, back in those days, there were no mass printing or copy machines, right? Photocopy machines. So people had to sit and write if they had to publish books. So this guy used to write Quran, which is the auspicious book of Muslims. Are you with me?
Yes.
So he used to write those books and sell it. As a king, as a ruler, he used to sell books and make money, and he used to use that money for his own, personal expenses. He never used the government money. He used to stitch the caps and hats. So Mughal emperors had their own styled caps and hats. He used to stitch it by hand, sell it, and make money and use it. So his thought process was very, very conservative in nature. He was not lavishly using that money for his own personal benefit. He never did that. So that's why, again, people say that he's one of the greatest administrator, or again, controversially, they said that he's one of the screwed up administrator because he was forcing and trying to be a bad dictator, right? So all in all, Aurangzeb is a character to be studied. Okay, because he wanted to conquer the entire region. Again, some people say that he wanted to convert everybody into Muslim, but also they say that he was a very, conservative. He was not using the administrative money for his own personal purposes, no drinking, whatever, right? So again, imposing jizya, banning Hindu festival, but also banning sati system, demolishing a lot of Hindu temples, but also donating a few. So overall, a crazy character to be studied. So again, I have just scratched the surface by introducing Aurangzeb to you. There are a lot of these books, and again, these books are very controversial. Some books make him a hero, and some books make him a villain. At the end of the day, it's how we perceive and understand it. So if you are interested, go look into internet and try to figure it out. But I will caution you that uh, everybody, whenever people write history, they will add their perspective, right? So
So it's not just
it's not just
normal
plain set of facts,
pure
because
history.
people will start, especially these topics, they will start associating themselves, and that's when it kind of takes into a different shape. So that's my take. So that's my word of caution. But go explore, understand Aurangzeb, like the way you want to understand Hitler, or maybe anybody for that matter, right? So yeah, this is a topic. Did you like it? It's an interesting one, right?
It's a really interesting one.
Right. All right. So that's all I had. So today is Sunday here. I'm hoping to go out. Just I'm wearing mask, and just explore the streets here. How about you? Any plans?
My plan is to finish up all my work and try to learn a new piano song.
Oh, awesome. All the best. Have fun and stay safe too. Take care. Bye.
Bye.